Hey, so I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit more about this idea of applying Bayes' theory, Bayesian thinking, to your diet, your nutrition, your exercise, whatever it is. So I was just going to give you kind of a real life example. So I've been playing around with, which I do periodically. Okay, so I know that, for example, for me, the more sort of whole plant foods, I feel better, right? So I know that about myself. And that coincides nicely with a lot of the research on the subject. If I take my carbohydrates too low, I can't sleep, and the best time for me to eat most of my starchy carbs is at night, right? So I've been trying to play around with this a little bit, and the way Bayes works is essentially you have all the stuff you know previously, those are your priors, you get some kind of new incoming stimulus, you compare what you already know with that new incoming stimulus, and then you get a synthesis of that. And depending on how strong that new stimulus was, you can change your behavior accordingly, right? So the whole point of this is to slowly develop a model for how you should eat or train for yourself, instead of relying on somebody else's, prescriptions or opinions about it. Obviously, you do want to look at the scientific research because, let's be honest, we don't all have time to test everything out. And there are certain things that are really, really, really well established that we know work. Strength training makes you stronger. Proprioceptive training improves your proprioception. Those are all fine. So, flexibility training improves flexibility. This is all fairly well established. Cardiovascular training improves endurance. You don't have to question those things. Those are really, really well established. Tons of people do these things. This is the real life example. So I went out. I haven't been eating like breakfast. I usually like to do some kind of light training first thing in the morning. So nothing super intense, but some kind of aerobic cardio. I met up with my partner for lunch, and we got Rush Bowls. Okay, so Rush Bowls. Shout out to Rush Bowls. They're in Denver here. Great place. You can get like a smoothie bowl kind of thing, and they have all kinds of you can tweak it. You can get add-ons and supplements and protein and whatever you need. Very nice for athletes. Very nice for people trying to eat healthy. Awesome. Great. Cool. So for lunch, we got Rush Bowls. Around 11 o'clock, just a bunch of berries and some soy milk and protein powder and like a little granola, some oats or whatnot sprinkled on top, some peanut butter and kale in mine also. And yeah, so I ate that, okay? I ate a lot of that actually. I had two. And I felt awesome. I felt great. I was productive. I didn't need to eat any snacks. I don't particularly enjoy snacking, so it was very nice for me to kind of have that sustained energy pretty much all through the afternoon, all the way up until dinner, and then I had dinner. Great, cool, awesome. Okay, so what's the point here? The point here is I got an incoming thing, which was a current stimulus. I compared it to my priors, right? Did it line up with my priors at all? Which I know that it did. It's, mainly whole plant foods. Oh, there was 2 scoops of protein powder in there between the 2 of the bowls, right? It lines up with whole plant foods, adequate amount of protein. The new thing here was a lot of berries and a bunch of healthy fat from like some nut butter. Okay, cool. All right. So I replicated that experiment today, right? So I went for a run in the morning for like 35 minutes, no problem, felt fine, came back, had a bunch of teas, different herbal teas. This kind of keeps your inflammation level down, cool. And I made myself a smoothie bowl, actually. Same idea. So, soy milk, bunch of berries, 2 scoops of protein powder, some peanut butter, some sunflower seed butter, and a bunch of celery for greens instead of kale. All right. Oh, and some like shredded wheat for complex carbs, a little bit of shredded wheat, right? Very similar to what I did yesterday. And now I'm going to see how I feel today throughout the afternoon, okay? And assuming that this replicates, that tells me something about what I can do in the future. I can just decide to essentially have that be a staple meal at around midday, and then that keeps me going until dinner very nicely without any need to snack. Cool, all right? There are other ways you could do this, but this is just an example if you're looking for something. So in my case, I was trying to prioritize keeping my energy levels stable. All right, I'm not really worried about calories right now. I train enough. I'm on my bike a lot. I'm fine. And I'm not worried about, gaining strength. That seems to be happening fairly consistently. I went in on heavy squats yesterday, and it's getting real close to breaking through a little plateau that I had hit on. Okay, cool. So go ahead, you can let me know what you think about you applying some Bayes to yourself, or if you have some other algorithm you use for testing. But this is a little bit of a kind of a quick version of the type of the theoretical thinking behind what I do when I'm experimenting on myself. And you can apply this to yourself about your training, about your nutrition, your sleep, whatever it is. Okay? So yeah, have a great day. I'm gonna go outside and draw. Bye.